Coming up on Mountain News this morning, healthcare professionals encourage us to keep a check on our mental health as we continue to deal with the aftermath of disaster. And an Eastern Kentucky elementary school gets a large donation of some much-needed items from a pair of Central Kentucky school districts.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's almost 5 o'clock on this Thursday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us, and let's head over to Brandon for a look at our forecast. And Brandon, before you start with your forecast, I have some major breaking news this morning.
Okay, let's have it.
I tied my own tie again.
You told me that. I was impressed.
Listen, I don't know how it looks. It'll probably loosen throughout the newscast, but folks, this is a big milestone for me.
I'll keep an eye on it for you, and we'll get you fixed up if we need to.
Cool, thank you.
All right, but yes, it is foggy out there this morning, so we'll continue to see that possibility going on across our region. Be careful, take it slow. Let's go to visibility this morning, and you'll be able to see on the graphic anything less than 5 miles here is dense fog, and there are a lot of spots, and I drove through most of it this morning near zero visibility. So be extra careful out there. Give yourself plenty of time to again keep an eye on that. Use your low beams too. Temperatures a little cooler this morning, 50s more widespread. We only have a couple of 60s on the map right now. Manchester and Middlesboro at 60. Jackson the hot spot, and I use hot with air quotations, at 61. So it's a very comfortable morning out there. Maybe a little extra on the coffee meter because of the fog outside and maybe the fog in your brain. I woke up a little late this morning, so I'm okay right now. But out the door forecast, we're going to be seeing fog give way to sunshine. It's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day. Get out there and enjoy it. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. A Mountain Comprehensive Care Center is working to help people around the region keep a check on their mental health as we continue dealing with the aftermath of July's flooding. After many parts of our region were covered in water during the historic flooding, mental health professionals knew they needed to cover all the bases, hitting the streets with case managers to check in on the people most impacted. From care baskets to serving meals, mental health coordinator Christy Stiltner says it is important to work with the area partners to let their neighbors know they have support through the toughest times.
It's okay to get help. We've also been trying to reach out to our first responders as well that have dealt with all of the tragedy within our community, and it's going to take a while to rebuild from all of this.
Officials say it is important for everyone to remember that your mental health is important and you are never walking through the waters alone. Well, a big donation of chairs, desks, and tables were dropped off at Heinemann Elementary School yesterday. Fayette and Jefferson County Public Schools sent those donations, along with Bardstown Independent Schools making a separate donation of desks and computers. School staff told us they lost almost everything in the flood.
It's just a joy to see the smiles on their faces. You know, some may consider it hand-me-downs. It's Fayette County's throwaways, but you know, what we keep is what we reuse in our schools, so we're happy that we can lend a hand to other communities.
Knott County students return to school on September 19th. The principal at Heinemann Elementary says faculty and staff cannot wait to see their students again. Well, here in Perry County, it's been a team effort for students and staff of Robinson Elementary and Buckhorn School as they gather under one roof at A.B. Combs Elementary. And though many of the school's needs have been met, there was still something that faculty and staff wanted to get for students. And yesterday, they are one step closer to achieving that goal. Arlissa Williams explains.
As the students of Buckhorn School and Robinson Elementary School are dismissed for recess, they have nothing but an empty yard and rundown playground equipment to keep them entertained.
When you have something small like this, it can be fun for a small amount of time, but after halfway through the year, they're not going to be happy with it.
But on Wednesday, representatives with PJ Operations, also known as Papa John's Pizza, stopped by A.B. Combs Elementary to drop off a significant donation to the schools.
It makes us feel amazing to do it. We're blessed that we have the ability to do it.
In partnership with the MAP Foundation, PJ Operations donated $20,000 to Perry County Schools to help purchase playground equipment for the students of the 2 schools that were impacted by flooding.
While, you know, it's tragic that we have to be in this situation, we can make it at least a little bit better and a little bit more fun and make it more memorable for them in a positive way.
For Buckhorn School Principal Tim Wooten, he says this donation will help restore some normalcy in the lives of kids who need it.
That's what our students need right now more than anything. Coming off of COVID, coming off of these floods, the devastation, just that normalcy, getting back more into a normal routine and rhythm, and that playground will help tremendously.
Doing what they can to help kids work hard and play hard. In Perry County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Those with PJ Operations say they plan to continue pouring support into this community because once the newness of the disaster wears off, there will still be people in need. Well, in Louisville, the Kentucky Humane Society is hosting an adoption event to find homes for pets and help more pets impacted by the floods here in our region. From now until next Wednesday, the 14th, KHS is waiving adoption fees for dogs and cats that are at least 6 months old. The event will help find loving homes for these animals while freeing up space for flood-impacted pets to be brought in. So far, KHS has brought in more than 270 cats, dogs, puppies, and kittens from Eastern Kentucky shelters that were affected by the flooding. And FEMA officials say the National Flood Insurance Program has processed more than 65% of the flood insurance claims they have received. In total, FEMA officials say that amounts to more than $13.1 million. Officials say just 1 inch of floodwater can cause up to $25,000 in damage. A flood insurance policy with NFIP for Kentuckians costs on average $1,147 per year or $98 per month, but may give you coverage up to $100,000 or more. In comparison, FEMA's individual assistance grant is typically between $3,000 and $6,000. The National Digital Inclusion Alliance says Shaping Our Appalachian Region, or SOAR, will be one of 18 organizations that will launch the National Digital Navigator Corps. SOAR's portion of the $10 million funding grant from Google will help Eastern Kentuckians gain access to internet devices and digital skills training. SOAR will use the $372,000 to hire, train, and support a digital navigator for 2.5 years. The formation of the Eastern Kentucky Office of Digital Equity and Literacy will launch its first pilot program in Elliott, Jackson, Magoffin, Morgan, Owsley, and Wolfe counties. Well, thank you so much for getting your Thursday morning started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we come back, a hurricane continues to make its way up the west coast, bringing the risk of severe flooding with it. That's on the way next.
And after a foggy morning, it's shaping up to be a nice day here in the mountains. How long will that last, though? I'll have the answer in about 3 minutes.